In 2017, in the Peruvian desert, mummies were discovered with elongated heads, pale, almost white skin, and only 3 fingers on each hand and foot. To this day, no one has been able to explain what they truly are. The images spread across the world. X-rays and DNA tests were conducted. For some scientists, the mummies were nothing more than elaborate fakes. But other researchers claim that the analyses revealed bone structures that do not correspond to any known human being. What is certain is that, more than 5 years later, no definitive answer exists. And the most intriguing part, these mummies were found in the very same desert that holds one of archaeology's greatest enigmas, the Nazca Lines. Stay until the end, because today we will explore how these 2 mysteries connect and why they continue to defy science. Long before the discovery of the mummies, the Nazca Desert was already home to one of archaeology's greatest enigmas. Spread across dozens of kilometers, the Nazca Lines form gigantic geoglyphs, figures of animals, geometric shapes, and symbols that can only be fully seen from above. They were created more than 1,500 years ago by a culture that had no balloons, airplanes, or any known technology of flight. Even today, archaeologists debate how these people managed to carve such vast and perfect lines in the middle of the desert's arid expanse. Some researchers believe the lines were used in religious rituals to ask the gods for rain. Others argue they served as a massive astronomical calendar. But there are also those who see something more, a possible cosmic map, perhaps pointing to specific locations or suggesting purposes we still cannot imagine. And when, centuries later, in this very same desert, the so-called Nazca Mummies appeared, many began to wonder, could all of this really be just coincidence? In 2017, images from Peru shocked the world. Small humanoid mummies were presented, unlike anything ever seen in traditional archaeology. They measured around 60 centimeters in height, with pale, almost white skin and elongated heads. But the most disturbing detail was in their hands and feet. Only 3 long, bony fingers, as if they belonged to another species. The first analyses released included X-rays and DNA tests. In some cases, the bones appeared to have real joints, and the samples showed fragments of biological material that did not fully match any known human being. For some independent researchers, this was evidence of a lineage previously unidentified, or perhaps of a non-human origin. The news quickly went viral, spreading through newspapers, documentaries, and mystery channels around the world. But along with the fame came the doubts. Were these mummies an elaborate fraud, or a discovery capable of rewriting history itself? And it's at this point that the controversy truly began to grow, because the reactions of the scientific community were anything but unanimous. The first reactions from the scientific community were quick and, for the most part, negative. Many archaeologists and biologists classified the mummies as a fraud. Experts pointed out that the bodies could have been assembled from human and animal bones, stitched together and molded with plaster. To them, it was nothing more than a well-crafted trick, created to deceive the curious and fuel theories about extraterrestrials. Peruvian universities and respected institutions issued official statements labeling the case as pseudoscience. The Peruvian Ministry of Culture even launched investigations, claiming that the supposed bodies were, in fact, human remains that had been illegally manipulated. At the same time, however, other groups of independent researchers, mostly tied to projects outside of traditional academia, claimed that DNA analyses revealed something unusual. According to them, some fragments did not fully correspond to known human DNA, suggesting the possibility of a distinct lineage. This division only fueled the controversy further. Were these mummies one of the greatest archaeological hoaxes of our time? Or were institutions rejecting a discovery simply because it did not fit the official narrative? And it was from this dispute that the story of the Nazca mummies gained even more traction, becoming a global debate that continues to this day. More than a scientific case, the Nazca mummies quickly turned into a cultural phenomenon. Images of the three-fingered bodies circulated through newspapers, documentaries, and TV programs around the world, sparking both fascination and outrage. On YouTube, in mystery forums, and across specialized websites, the debate exploded. For some, the mummies were the ultimate proof that we are not alone. For others, they were a dangerous reminder of how frauds can gain strength in the age of the internet, spreading misinformation on a global scale. The case also struck a nerve because it touched on something deeply human, the desire to believe in something greater. The idea that an unknown civilization, or even beings from beyond Earth, might have left traces in the same desert as the enigmatic lines elevated the mystery to something almost mythical. And perhaps the most revealing part is this. Every unusual discovery seems to follow the same path. On one side, groups who immediately label anything outside the norm as conspiracy. On the other, people inclined to believe that there are profound gaps in the history of our own species. It is in this clash between disbelief and faith that the Nazca mummies remain alive, not only as relics, but as a mirror of our own doubts. With all this information, one inevitable question arises. Do you believe that this desert, where we find the enigmatic Nazca Lines and the controversial three-fingered mummies, carries the mark of something different that happened in history? Are they merely archaeological coincidences, or signs that much more remains to be revealed about humanity's past? In my view, the lines themselves already turn this place into a colossal mystery. They only make sense when seen from the sky, as if those who created them wanted to draw the attention of something not on the ground, but above it. And if the mummies truly hold DNA or features that fall outside the human norm, that could be a strong indication that these people actually witnessed something unusual in their time and tried to communicate with it in the only way they knew how. What is certain is that the lines and the mummies together keep alive an enigma that continues to challenge science. And you? Do you believe this is all just coincidence, or that Nazca hides a much greater secret? Leave your opinion in the comments.